Lately, my callouts have been on fire. The small caps are exploding, and I believe this ticker is poised to have a massive run in 2024. Was previously a $19 stock, now trading sub a dollar. Let's get right into it. First, if you don't mind, smashing that like button, click and subscribe if you haven't. Also, turning on those post notifications, I'd greatly appreciate it. Now, the stock is Cidara Therapeutics, ticker CDTX. Now, overall, I think it's great to focus on biotechs. The past 6 to 8 months has been pretty rough for them, but I like to focus on tickers that have a good cap structure. They've been beaten down. A lot of that downside pressure has been removed, and we could start to accumulate and really look for the future. Now, that's what I see here. Again, no ticker is perfect, but when we look at the technical breakdown, 40 cents is the floor. The support would be at 46 and then again at 60 cents. So pretty much from where we're at, we don't really have that much downside risk in my opinion. We also have this macro descending wedge that I'm looking to break out on the monthly, weekly, daily, which I'll show you in a moment. What I like is going back to March, the EPS was minus 19, then it was minus 14, and then again more recently minus 9. So over this past 4 quarters, it's definitely going up, which is great. I know that we want to see a break of this 9 EMA here, which is sitting right at 86.3. So that's what I'm going to be looking for is a close above. It hasn't done that all the way since May. Okay, and then previously, again, we saw was back in March. So we want to stay above the 9. The last time it closed, it got ripped right back under it. And then again, right at a dollar would be that 21 EMA on the monthly. Okay, so those are some alerts that I'm going to set so that we could see some more momentum to the upside. Right now, it's starting to stabilize and possibly beginning to curl, right? It's not confirmed yet, but I think if we do get on the north side of a dollar, we are going to see a little bit of momentum break. And from there, I'll give you more levels. But when we go on the weekly and we start to zoom in, I think it makes a little bit more sense about what we're looking at. Pretty consistent in terms of the trend line here. We want to see really a break of 94, 122, 150. Okay, those are all good levels here. And then again, we have this big 200 on the weekly, which is sitting at 184. So there's a lot of upside targets. Let's just say conservatively where we are now, if we go all the way up here to 95, 96 cents, that'd be 22%. $1.20 would be 57, conservatively 90%. Then if we got back to that weekly 200, pretty much the top of this cluster here, we'd be at 137%. All very conservative targets, by the way. Okay, I know that there's a lot more upside. I think this could be a $4 or $5 stock, but where it is right now, just again, the relative past trading in the year, the high was around 210. So if we go to the high of that 210, again, that's around 170% upside. So lots of opportunity here, which brings me into my next point, which is the price forecast. We have 3 analyst buy ratings here. On the low end is $3, the median being 450, the high of 6, which from this price currently would be almost 665% upside. So again, even on the low conservative side, which is 282% upside. Okay. So now when you look at my levels, you're like, wow, and still that's a lot. 100, 150%. Really nice to see that here for Cidara. Okay. When we take a look at the short data, I always think that's important no matter what the ticker is to see, just how much interest on the sell side there is. So in this case, we're seeing it's around a 44% increase. Previously, the report was around 700,000 shares short on paper. Now it's a million. So it's went up about, 50% give or take. Now, again, the daily trading average is somewhere around 500,000. So this is about 2 days worth of trading that's short. That's definitely significant. It's worth to note, just considering the levels we're at. If it continues to just push up from here, there is still a million shares short on paper. Again, just an interesting thing to note. 32% owned by institutions, 10% by insiders. So that's around 40% of the supply is pretty much locked up. I don't think it could be really sold in bulk. Okay, when we look here, the float is around 82 million. Shares outstanding is 90. Now, I've seen on other sites that it was less, like it was 60 million. I like to trust FinViz. Usually they're right about those numbers. But sometimes, even like you saw on the short interest report, they didn't have the cap structure. So somewhere in that range, still very tight for a 70-cent stock here. And then we look on the 4 hour, right, we could see how well the trend line's working. Some in extended hours here where it touches the trend line nearly to perfection. We see multiple touch points again and why it makes sense to me to draw out this sort of descending wedge. Okay. So leave a comment in the section below if you are interested in biotech stocks. What are you trading? I know we've talked about a lot of tickers like Gain, Therapeutics, Koya, tickers like that. Do you trade those? Leave a comment in the section below. I would love to hear if there's anything on your radar that I'm missing. But besides that, I want to keep this short and simple. CDTX, please keep it on your radar. When we zoom out, lots of opportunity here, even getting back to $4 or $5 would be massive, massive upside potential. It doesn't take a lot. As you could see, the volume is starting to pick up here, right? A lot of accumulation at this, 60 to 90 cent range. So I don't think it makes any sense for it to go below 65, 68 cents. Okay, now the last thing, I just want to always map this out. Potential downside, if we were to take a position here, right, it'd be around 12%, 11.9% downside if we went to the previous low of December. And then if we went to that pivot point low, it'd be somewhere around, 24, 25%, give or take. So I think it's, again, a very conservative price valuation here in terms of upside. Risk to reward is really solid, 20, 25% at most. That's a typical options trade or typical swing trade stop loss for me. And again, some people have it a little bit more lenient than that. Okay. So thank you guys so much for watching. Again, leave a comment in the section below if you've ever heard of Cidara, if you plan on trading it. Anything that I might have missed, let me know. I really do appreciate it. Have a fantastic weekend. And as always, we'll see you in the next one.